Welcome you all to this lecture. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the sequential circuits. So there are multiple sequential circuits. Later on, we will discuss all type of sequential circuits one by one. So there are sequential circuit like flip-flops. There are counters. And registers. So what is a sequential circuit? I have discussed in one of the introductory lecture in which I have talked about the combinational as well as sequential circuits. So let's look at it again. What is a sequential circuit? So let's say I assume that there is a circuit which is taking some number of inputs and generating some number of outputs. As we already know that in sequential circuits there will be memory elements involved. So let's say in this circuit we are giving some input. So few inputs are there like this. Maybe a number of inputs we are giving, and there are outputs. This is being generated. There are outputs like this. Maybe any number of output it will generate, not necessarily equal, maybe different, but along with these it will be having a memory element. Let me just draw it a bit longer like this. Okay, so these are the output lines. So let's say I am assuming there are n inputs. There may be n or m outputs. Now these outputs we will store in a memory element. So there is a memory element like this. You assume that there's a memory element. So I can draw there, or let's say writing it here. There's a memory element like this. Now these output lines we are passing to this, so the outputs are being stored in memory element. We will also talk about how we can develop the memory elements. So m number of lines, joining all the lines to memory element. So I'm writing this is memory element. This is okay. Now these lines, because it is a sequential circuit, it will again will be taken as input by the circuit as a feedback, right? So these lines will again pass on to the circuit as a feedback. Let's say this is the very first line. The next line, let's say again it will be joined as a feedback to the circuit like this, and there's another line, right? Like this, all the lines will be passed as a feedback to the given circuit. Okay, so there may be more. If there are more lines, we can pass all the lines. It's not a problem. You can draw a circuit easily, right? So this is a combinational circuit. Along with this combinational circuit, there's a memory element, and this memory element is capable to store the generated output. So let me it is coming like this, these outputs, and these are getting forwarded. So this is we are considering like feedback, and this is whatever is output we are just storing here. That is, you can say, previous output. Okay, so that we are writing here previous or old, whatever you want to write, output. So this is previously generated output, it is stored in the memory, and this is the feedback. And this all together, this circuit along with this sequential circuit with memory element, we consider as sequential circuit. Sequential circuit we have studied in detail. Now what is memory element? How we can build or design memory element? That is one thing which we need to discuss. So let's say if I take a sequential circuit like this, in which I am having, you can take any gate. I'm taking, let's say, NOT gate. NOT gate you can also construct with the help of NOR or NAND. If I again pass on and connect it with another NOT gate like this, there's another NOT gate. I'm connecting it, and let's say I'm drawing the circuit like this. So this is a sequential circuit, right? When we pass anything here, let's say we are passing 0, this 0 will reflect as 1, then this 1 will become 0. So whatever we pass, we will get out here. If we are passing 1, it will be converted as 0 here, and then it will be converted to 1 here. So if we pass 1, we will get 1. If we pass 0, we will get 0. It's not a problem. Now let's make it as a sequential circuit. So if we connect this output which we are generating and we pass as feedback here, okay, let's say if I connect this, now let's analyze what will happen. So in case we are giving 1 here, we will get 0 here, and we will get 1 here. Now this 1 will come back, and again we will get 1 0 1. So this circuit will keep on storing 1 only until and unless we change this input. So if we change it to 0, then it will keep on storing the 0. I hope you are able to understand it. So this circuit is working as a sequential circuit, and it is also working as a memory element. So I'm writing it. It is a memory element which is able to store 1 bit data. The similar task, the holding on the data, can be done by latches also, right? So in next lecture, I'll be talking about latch. There are two types of latches. We can construct the latch with the help of NOR gate. We can also construct the latch with the help of NAND gate. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you everyone for connecting.